made into a sauce by adding a little bit more regular soy sauce and just thicken it with some...
Yeah, I had a lot of that sauce.
Very excellent.
And even more of your California dip.
Oh, yes. That's a recipe of Alton Brown.
Is it?
Yes. Well, this particular version. The original isn't. The original California dip is just sour cream and mayo with a packet of instant French onion soup tipped into it.
Ah, yes.
But this is...
I know for sure that the inventor was probably a student, because that sounds very much like the kind of pantry raids.
How you make a dip, but yeah, this version was with caramelized onions instead. So
oh yeah, very successful.
It was I thought there would be too much, but there was not a lot left over by the end of the night.
Now, apologies to any listeners at home who may be absolutely salivating for some delicious barbecue right now. Sorry, we can't share, and it's not smell-o-vision. But welcome to the Star Trek podcast, nevertheless. I'm Kaki.
I'm Kay.
And welcome to the Joy of Trek. And once again, we're reading a story that the Chief has selected. And I just had a peek at what the episode it's linked to. And once again, the Chief has found a great story that is connected to last week's episode, assuming that these come out in that order, which would make sense.
Yes. I mean, he generally does a very good job of timing those things, right?
I know. His mastery of the various currents of the temporal vortex is really, really something.
That's why he's a chief engineer, and we're just I don't know, what are we, lower decks or
irascible nephews is what I. There's a sort of rank that I like to put on my Starfleet file.
I'm not sure what irascible means.
Oh, rambunctious.
Okay.
Slightly untrustworthy.
That sounds about right.
Irrational nephews are Huey, Dewey, and Louie from Donald Duck, right? They're his irascible nephews.
Right, yes. So today we are reading I'll Still Be Here When You're Ready by Lauraschiller.
From 2022 in the collection Delightful Star Trek Nuggets, which is great. From a series of Tumblr lists, 100 Ways to Say I Love You. Oh, that's adorable. Okay. Connected to, Star Trek The Next Generation, Where No One Has Gone Before. Oh. Yeah, very good.
The ratings teen up an audience, archive warning, major character death.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just a little heads up in case you're sensitive to that sort of thing.
Yep.
Let's see, what happened again in that episode?
It was wasn't it another one where everyone's imagination was doing things? Yeah,
it was. Yeah, there's actually, so either...
with the Traveler, they zapped into a place where thought and reality are intermingled.
Right,
and so
yes.
They had to...
And then the Traveler disappeared, and then...
Yeah, I sort of miss how weird Star Trek The Next Generation was in its early episodes.
Did it stop doing that later on?
Yeah, once they realized the sort of humanist naval structure, technology first structure, and centralizing around the lead characters was the thing that produced, the most reliable, enjoyable stories. But then they had a lot less of because the first season was marked with, they still had a lot of writers from the original series.
Right, which was still a bit Weirdness of the Week episodes, yeah.
And often even with much more attention being paid to the guest, character of the week than the protagonists. And that was flipped around. Hey, we have these expensive actors. They should be the core.
Fair point. So the summary of the story is Counselor Troi senses a dark place in the captain's mind.
Ew. Yeah, because he did have a moment with Maman in...
oh, yes.
As in the French pronunciation of the word mother, and not the, I think,
Maman.
Originally Celtic deity?
Is it? I mean, I really only know it from Christianic sermons that you can't...
Oh, is that where it's
serve
from?
both God and Mammon, but I don't know what it's like. Yeah, if that's how old or recent that is. So
I have no idea. I mean, I know in modern days it's often used in reference to the specter of capitalism,
right?
Greed and avarice.
I think that's what the Christian thing refers to as well.
Oh, look at us go! Very educational for a Star Trek podcast.
So let's see, 2364 USS Enterprise, Captain.
I'm sorry. For just a second, I thought, I had flashbacks to when I made the Chief join me for a reading of Kunk on the Enterprise, and it was like a script of Philomena Kunk on the Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh boy,
interviewing everyone. So yeah, this having the year and date there. Yes, Counselor.
How many years after Pump Up the Jam is that?
Yeah, my Belgian techno sensation Technotronic.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I wish we could have done that and done subtitles over audio somehow. Yes, Counselor. Captain Picard looked up from the computer screen of his ready room. This was the first opportunity Deanna had found to speak to him in private since the Traveler's disappearance and the Enterprise's return to its native galaxy. The captain had actually stayed on the bridge much longer than usual. Either mentoring Wesley on his first day as acting ensign was important to him, or he knew what Deanna meant to ask and was avoiding her. Knowing Picard, it was most likely both.
Earlier, you asked me to monitor the emotional state of the crew. If someone on board was in distress after today's event, would you want me to inform you?
If it affects the running of this ship, certainly.
Well, not directly.
In that case, you'd better let them have their privacy.
And if the crew member in question is you, sir?
Oh, very good, Deanna. Deanna knew this approach was blunt and borderline inappropriate, but she was at her wit's end with Picard. His mind was more tightly controlled than that of any other human she'd met. He gave absolutely nothing away unless he chose to. This was why, when the ship had been stranded in that other galaxy and he'd arrived on the bridge in a black hole of despair, Deanna very much wanted to know why. She could still feel it, that black hole, sucking all the warmth and light from the room, even as his face remained politely neutral.
Your concern is noted, he said.
Was it something you saw? A thought that made manifest, I mean?
If you must know, he smiled wryly, almost like a parent humouring the curiosity of a child. I saw my mother offering me a cup of tea and meditating on the nature of the universe, which was rather a shock considering she passed away some years ago.
Oh. Grief might explain it, Deanna thought, but there had to be more to it than that. She knew how her patients felt when they were grieving, and it wasn't like this. Although her own mother carried a black hole inside her too and didn't let anyone go near it, even family. I'm sorry, sir.
It's all right, said Picard. I miss her, of course, but at my age, losing a parent is only to be expected.
It was not all right. The black hole flared alarmingly as he spoke. Deanna clasped her hands behind her to stop herself from reaching out, as she would reach out on instinct to grab the hand of a drowning man.
Would you like to talk about it?
No, thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a report to write.
He might as well have snapped a level 10 force field into place between them. She couldn't sense the black hole anymore, but neither could she sense anything else except a pointed refusal to have this conversation. If he were bleeding from a knife wound, would he send Dr. Crusher away too? Depending on the situation, he just might.
Captain, Deanna hesitated. She felt much too new on the job for this. Where should she draw the line between respecting her patient's boundaries and getting him the help he was too stubborn to ask for?
Dismissed, Counselor. Picard nodded in the direction of the door. His mental force field crackled, ready to deliver an electric shock at the slightest provocation.
Oh.
She decided not to risk it. Halfway out the door, though, she looked back at him one more time.
I'm really liking this sort of imagery of the mental force field.
Yes.
That's great. I'll still be here when you're ready, she said, pouring all the compassion onto her face and voice that he wouldn't let her show in any other way.
Then she fled before he could dismiss her even more shapely than before. Well, sharply, not shapely.
Well, very shapely too.
The closing door, however, she felt that the tiniest flicker of something, gratitude, respect, escaped from the captain's barrier. It wasn't much, but it was a start.
Oh, this is good.
Hello, little weirdo.
Now we're going to the year 2400, Nepenthe.
Ooh, Nepenthe?
Okay.
That sounds familiar.
Yes, we have seen it on the show. So it's an episode of season 1 of Picard, the dedicated series. The planet Nepenthe is where Troi and Riker settle down.
Right, yes. Where he takes the girl that he's rescued from the space station. And,
yes, exactly.
Yes.
And initially they settled there for the health of their first child, who unfortunately still did die from a disease they were unable to otherwise treat.
Right. There were no positronic brains available.
Yeah. And their other child, their daughter, still flourishes there and goes hunting for bunny corns, which make for good,
Eaten,
sausage.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you take out the venom sacs first.
Right. Well, I mean, that's kind of like blowfish,
Yeah.
Blowfish sashimi. I never had it. I mean,
neither have I.
Would you? Given the opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, okay, so I know this about it. It is perfectly safe if there's someone with, the absolute worst that can happen is someone has to breathe for you
for
about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? But because the worst case situation is it's a paralytic venom,
Yeah.
and it even stops your ability to breathe, but not your heart.
Yeah. So yeah.
So someone does breathing for even one of those squeezy tubes,
Right.
it'll suck.
Yeah.
Right, but you're quite safe, and like any sushi kitchen will have separate knives and stations and special training.
Well, yeah.
They sell this shit in supermarkets.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know you have to be a licensed chef to be able to serve it, but yeah.
Yeah, apparently quite pleasant tingling and numbing.
Yeah. Or you could just go eat Szechuan peppers, I guess.
Oh yeah, but there are secondary consequences to that.
So,
yeah.
Let's see. Diana?
Yes, Jean-Luc? Diana looked up from the bowl of green beans she was washing for dinner. He stood beside her, snapping off the stems of the beans before throwing them into the pot ready to boil. They had the kitchen to themselves, as Will and Kestra were off hunting bunnycorns. Ah! Her husband and daughter had enough empathy to sense without being told when Jean-Luc needed privacy. Oh, yes.
In this plain, lived-in kitchen with its potted herbs and ancient appliances, the evening sun and the songs of birds coming in through the windows, she felt as peaceful as she ever did these days, and so did he. There was something different about him ever since he'd returned from his last mission with Captain Rio and the Stargazer. Diana couldn't put her finger on it, but it was there. Vulnerability, perhaps, but also lightness. If ever there was time to talk, it was now.
Okay, but now I'm thinking about the ancient appliances and what that means in 2400. Like a
KitchenAid and like a toaster oven.
Oh, I imagine like a probe temperature sensor attached to like an iPhone 5.
Oh,
much like someone I know has
a food replicator Mark 0.4.
Yeah,
with only 3 different recipes. And
no, there's one of those Play-Doh machines for extruding pasta. I don't know how much you heard about my last mission. I suppose it's classified.
Very much so, since I'm still retired. Why?
Not sure how much to tell you. His hands paused in their task as he stared out the window into the garden, searching for words. But do you remember the Traveler, Wesley's mentor? The day he sent us to a galaxy where thoughts become real?
You saw the Traveler again?
Oh, no, nothing like that. He laughed self-consciously at his own awkward approach to the subject. What I meant to say, you asked me a question that day I couldn't bring myself to answer. You told me you would be there when I was ready, and I know it's been an absurdly long time, but today I am.
It took a moment for Diana's memory to return, but when it did, she was not sure whether to smile or cry. Trust Jean-Luc to put off a personal conversation for more than 30 years.
No.
She still remembered how much in awe she used to be of the formidable captain, and how that made her second-guess herself, as his counselor even on the rare occasions when he would agree to a session. Perhaps she could have been more persistent, but perhaps that would only have driven him further away. There was no use regretting it now.
I asked about your mother, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Reaching out with her empathic senses, she finally realized what was so different about its presence today. The black hole was gone. There was still a messy tangle of grief, guilt, anger, and other things less easy to name, but at least those were out in the open.
Why did it hurt you so much to see her in a vision, Jean-Luc?
She had some ideas. His records listed Yvette Gisard Picard's lifespan as 2278 to 2313. No, that's quite short. And his psychological files indicated a family history with depression and bipolar disorder. But it was his prerogative to tell the story, and he never breathed a word of it until now.
He put down the kitchen knife, flattened his trembling hands along the countertop, took a deep breath, and looked out into the garden once more. The daffodils were in bloom, as were the wild white tulips, as well as flowers native to this world that she didn't know. The beauty of Nepenthe steadied him just enough to answer.
When I was 8 years old, said Jean-Luc, my mother took her own life. She was locked in her room that night, and I had let her out. It's taken me this long to even begin to forgive myself.
His head bowed and his knees buckled, as if the strain of the confession was enough to wear him out. But his spirit burned as brightly as she'd ever felt it. All his barriers were down, and somewhere beneath those 80-odd years of pain was his gratitude to Diana for just being there.
She put one hand on his back and the other beneath his elbow, steering him over to the nearest kitchen chair so he could drop into it and breathe slowly. She sat down opposite him, kept hold of one of his hands, and prepared to listen.
Tell me everything, she said.
Oh. Like, even without actually delving into it, which, season 2 of Picard does a little bit. Like, it explores a bit more of his relationship with his parents and like the difficulty that people can have growing up, even in a future where medical advances have solved so many problems. Others still persist. Sorry, I'm just a little bit emotional about the story. I think it's very, very good.
Yeah, that was a lovely story. I'll Still Be Here When You're Ready by Laura Schiller. Thank you very much for that story.
Yeah, really well done. Great choice, Chief. And hey, Kay, I'm really glad that you didn't give a weird accent to one of them in the middle. I know the temptation is there.
Well, this seemed like a slightly more serious story.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I almost did it myself. Like, I'll show him. I'll do full chav for Deanna this time.
That would have been horrible. So, if you would like to suggest a story of yourself, you can go to joyoftrek.com/links, where there is a link. You wouldn't think
amazing, right?
To a suggestion form where you can either suggest a story or an episode if you would like us to talk about a particular episode that you love more than anybody else or that has particular meaning to you.
And we've got socials, and we've got the Patreon, where there's fun GIFs and a monthly bonus episode made especially for you with the Chief, where we do a little watch-along.
Yes, and we're picking up usually an episode that we've recently watched on the show, and we just have a quiet little natter, and sometimes we even talk about the episode.
It has happened, yeah, it's true.
Well, I guess that leaves us only one more thing to do.
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Energize!
We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode with your friends Kay and Kaki, production and editing by our chief engineer Greg, and music by Fox Amore. Join us next week for the Ultimate Computer TOS 224. Visit joyoftrek.com/links to send us recommendations, support us on Patreon, or to find us on Blue Sky. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to The Joy of Trek, and we'll see you out there!